Imagine Pinocchio says, "My nose is about to grow." Simple sentence, but there is a problem. If his nose grows, that means he lied. But if he lied, then his statement was true. And if his statement was true, his nose shouldn't grow. But if it doesn't grow, then he was lying, which means it should grow. And suddenly, a wooden child from a Disney movie has broken reality. Not bad for a puppet. Today we're looking at some of the strangest paradoxes ever discovered. Problems so simple that a child can understand them, and so confusing that philosophers are still arguing about them centuries later. The Pinocchio Paradox. Pinocchio's rule is easy. Truth equals no nose growth. Lie equals nose growth. Now he says, "My nose is about to grow." Let's follow the logic. Scenario 1. His nose grows. That means he lied. But then the statement was false. Yet his nose growing made it true. Problem. Scenario 2. His nose doesn't grow. Then the statement was false, meaning he lied. Meaning the nose should grow. Also a problem. There is no stable answer. No matter what happens, the rule contradicts itself. Congratulations, a fictional puppet has created a bug in the universe. The liar paradox. The Pinocchio paradox is actually a modern version of a much older one. A philosopher in ancient Greece came up with a sentence that looks harmless. This statement is false. Think about it. If the statement is true, then it says it's false. So it must be false. But if it's false, then the statement is actually true, which means it's false, which means it's true, which means it's false. The loop has been frying brains for more than 2,000 years. People have spent entire careers trying to solve it. Humanity invented rockets, computers, and nuclear power, and we're still stuck on one sentence. The Barber Paradox. Imagine a village with one barber. The barber shaves everyone who does not shave themselves, and only those people. Question: who shaves the barber? If the barber shaves himself, then he belongs in the group of the people who shave themselves, meaning he shouldn't shave himself. But if he doesn't shave himself, then he belongs in the group that must be shaved by the barber, meaning he shouldn't shave himself. Another contradiction. The barber cannot exist. The entire village setup collapses. The Crocodile Paradox. An ancient crocodile steals a baby, naturally, because apparently philosophers had very strange hobbies. The crocodile tells the mother, "If you correctly predict what I'm about to do, I will return your baby." The mother says, "You will not return my baby." Now what? If the crocodile returns the baby, the mother's prediction was wrong. So according to the deal, the crocodile shouldn't return the baby. But if the crocodile keeps the baby, the prediction was correct. So according to the deal, he must return the baby. The crocodile has trapped himself. A legal contract defeated by a reptile. Achilles and the tortoise. This one sounds ridiculous, but for centuries it genuinely bothered mathematicians. Imagine the fastest runner alive racing a tortoise. The tortoise gets a small head start. To catch the tortoise, Achilles must first reach the point where the tortoise started. By then, the tortoise has moved slightly forward. Then Achilles must reach that new point, but the tortoise moves again. Then Achilles must reach that point. Then another, then another, then another. There are infinitely many points to reach. So theoretically, Achilles can never catch the tortoise. Obviously he can, you could watch it happen. But explaining why required the invention of ideas that eventually became calculus. A paradox so annoying it helped create modern mathematics. Buridan's ass. Imagine a hungry donkey. In front of it are two piles of hay. Both piles are exactly the same. The same size, same distance, same smell, same everything. The donkey wants food, but there is a problem. To choose one pile over the other, it needs a reason. And there isn't one. The left pile is not better. The right pile is not better. They are perfectly equal. So what should a perfectly rational donkey do? Choose the left. Why? Choose the right. Why? Every reason for choosing one applies equally for the other. So the donkey keeps thinking and thinking and thinking, unable to justify their choice until eventually it starves to death. Now obviously real donkeys don't do this. They'll just pick one and start eating. But the paradox isn't really about donkeys. It's about rational decision making. If two options are truly identical, what exactly causes the choice? Can pure logic make the decision? Or is there always some tiny random factor involved? Maybe perfect rationality isn't enough. Maybe every decision requires something beyond logic. A preference, an instinct, a coin flip. Or perhaps the universe simply never allows two choices to be perfectly identical in the first place. Either way, the lesson is slightly worrying, because if absolute rationality leads to starvation, then occasionally making a random decision might actually be the smartest thing you can do. Imagine you own a wooden ship. Over time, every plank breaks and gets replaced. Eventually, every single piece of the wood is new. Question: is it still the same ship? Most people say yes. Now imagine someone collects all the original planks and rebuilt the old ship. Which one is the real ship? The rebuilt original or the continuously repaired one? And if this applies to ships, what about you? Every cell in your body gets replaced over time. The person watching this right now contains almost none of the matter that existed years ago. So what exactly makes you, you? Paradoxes are strange because they expose cracks in the way we think. Most of the time, our brains treat logic like a perfectly designed machine. Input facts, get answers, simple. But every now and then, somebody asks a question so innocent, so stupid, so absurd, that makes the machine starts smoking. A puppet predicts his own nose growth. A barber can't shave himself. A sentence attacks itself. A tortoise outruns logic. And suddenly, we're reminded that reality is a lot stranger than it first appears. The weirdest part, we still don't fully agree on how to solve some of those paradoxes, which means somewhere out there a cartoon puppet is technically undefeated against centuries of human thought, an achievement most people can only dream of. Humans usually lose arguments on the internet in under 3 comments.